A warning, brave adventurer. This episode of Echoes of Honor may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody. Hello there, welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see your gorgeous faces. We are here, we are back, we are playing the premier Cosmere RPG, Echoes of Honor, set in the world of Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive. And this will probably be one of the last weeks where I can say the premier Cosmere RPG campaign. I'm going to have to start saying one of the premier Cosmere RPG campaigns because I am really excited to announce Mistborn, our campaign set in Era 1 of Mistborn. Shadows of Luthadel is starting not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, Wednesday the 2nd of September. It'll be live right here on twitch.tv/The Lost Archives, about 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then it'll be up on YouTube, on the podcast platform of your choice, the following Monday or Sunday, one of those days. But yeah, super excited. Some of you may have already seen the trailer that I put together. I made two versions of it, one short, one long, wide. What do we call these now? And I've just realized one normal for YouTube. Because I figured, why not? So if you've seen it, I know a few of you have. Hope you enjoy it. I thought it'd be fun to have something like that together, and I definitely need to do that for every future campaign that we do. It does mean that Return of the Giants will be wrapping up in 2 weeks. Wish me luck. Wrapping up a campaign in 2 weeks. We did this with Curse of Strahd, and I did not learn my lesson clearly.
Is it going to be wrapped up completely, or is it just going to be on hold until we revisit it?
No, because it was always going to be split into 2. Return of the Giants. That was always the plan, was to split it in 2. And I was going to. I mean, originally I'd planned to split it into 2 campaigns: Return of the Giants and Twilight of the Gods. But I think what I might do now is just keep it as Return of the Giants Part 1 and Part 2, just so that when you go to watch this new season of this thing, Twilight of the Gods, and the players all come in at level 20 or something, you'd be like, what the f? So yeah, I think it'd be a bit easy to manage. Yeah, I know. To be honest, Curse of Strahd needed another session or 2. Yeah, it did. Yep. I'd be the first to admit it. Yep. That's a fact. But yeah, so we've got our Mistborn campaign starting shortly.
Let's be real, we would have fucked around for those sessions.
Those 2 sessions. Whatever time I gave you. Yeah.
We got exactly as much content out of it. We could have given another 5 sessions and just all would have been walking from there to the Amber Temple.
That's a good point. I hadn't considered that, yeah. Or walking back again. Do
you remember how long it took us to get from Palaki to Kresk?
I do, yeah.
About 6 months.
It would, yeah.
It was about 8 sessions. Yeah. So, we will. Look, lucky I'd already planned on Return of the Giants being split in half. So, the plan was to have the first 3 giant clans in the first half, and then obviously Storm and Cloud in the second half. That has timed out perfectly, which is good. We've actually managed to wrap up each of the giant clans in a really good amount, pretty even amount of episodes as well, which is really nice. Probably spent a bit more time with Stone than we did with Hill, but that's because Hill Giants are gross. But yeah, so yeah. I think this works out. I think this works out well. But yeah, very excited to start Mistborn. Super hyped. Before we do our recap and dive on into the session, any fun news to share from anyone else before we... No? Cool. Sweet. Rory, we missed you last week. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to assume you were very happy with how Hula was represented. No retcons we need to do. We're all good?
We're good.
He's too cool about it. Is he double bluffing me?
He didn't.
May have had a busy week.
Okay, perfect. That's the best outcome. In that case, then, can I have your confirmation right here and right now? You've got no complaints about how Hula was represented last week, and we're ready to go.
Any complaints I can only direct to myself for not being available. So
man, this is great. Wow. Fantastic. Well, then all of this is canon heading forwards. Please feel free to react accordingly as we left off last session.
By the way, you now have a bore-out accent and you like feet.
Very nice.
Yeah, I may have changed your accent just for fun while we were playing. I was like, well, Rory now has to commit. This is now how Hula sounds canon. Let's do our recap. Let's dive on into the session. You'll be fine. I'm not even going to tell you what the accent is. I'm sure you'll pick it up. Our story follows a group of unlikely allies and friends, survivors of an attack on their caravan, now banded together under the banner of Bright Lord Bethab to seek those responsible. A cabal of light-eyed Aelthi nobles calling themselves the Sons of Honor. The team have managed to track down and capture the leader of this caravan, Bright Lady Ralanat, who fled agents of the Sons of Honor operating out of Aladar's war camp. Using Alaran's new position as examiner for High Prince Bethab, the team were able to enter the camp under protest from Aladar's commander Mintez. Dispatching the mercenaries who were keeping Ralanat prisoner, the team soon were forced to flee the camp, pursued by Mintez and his soldiers. Making their way to a nearby storm shelter, currently abandoned with no high storm imminent, the team set about interrogating Ralanat and her manservant Zindan. We left off last session in the midst of these questions, Rav-eth and Ztar able to convince Zindan to reveal what he knows, while Neivien and Alaran struggled with how best to manage Bright Lady Ralanat. So, we dive straight back in. Hula, while this was going on, I had you guarding the front doors to the storm shelter and also doing a bit of a reconnoiter, a bit of reconnaissance of the storm shelter itself, just to make sure there were no other people there. Could I get you to roll for me, just to start us off, a perception or... maybe perception or survival check, just to kind of have a bit of a look around as you examine the area closely. I think that makes sense.
Character sheet is really slow to swap tabs. So
I think Has had a similar problem last Monday, and then we fixed it.
I'm having issues with mine tonight. It won't load.
Now both of mine load, so...
Oh dear.
Well, that checks out, doesn't it? Let me know if you have any trouble, and I can have a bit of a peekaroo behind the scenes. Rory, let me see if I can open it.
Yep. That's right. I rolled. I just had to make the screen bigger, and then it seemed to load faster for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's a common. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
I don't know why that worked.
No, the bigger the bigger, quicker it loads. We know that. That's just logic. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
24 on the perception check. Very nice. Looking around the abandoned storm shelter, Hula, you can see that clearly this was mostly stripped after the last high storm, which was only a day or two ago. A lot of the supplies and things haven't been replaced yet, but there are some stuff that's been left behind, including what looks like a few items left behind by those who sought shelter inside this massive stone structure. Could you please roll a D8 and a D10 for me? Just through Roll20, just a standard D8 and D10. 7 and a 10. Okay.
Yep.
Not bad rolls. The D8 and the D10.
Not bad at all, 3 of them. So I'm using the good ones early, so that concerns me a bit.
Yeah, and get them out of the way now on really unimportant rolls. That's ideal.
Yeah.
As you examine the nearby area, Hula, and have a bit of a look around, you come across a number of items that have been left behind by people who'd sort of snuck in here or been in here during the last high storm, including what looks like a pouch containing a number of marks. As you pull the pouch open, you can see that it is probably a nobleman's pouch, judging by the fine leather work, the clasp that has been set in place, a metal Soulcast clasp. Peeking inside, there's 83 marks in here, Hula.
Ooh, marks.
In addition, there is also a satchel that is hanging on one of the nearby hooks. Normally, these would be used to hold people's coats and hats, things like that, when they enter the storm shelter to let them drip dry. Clearly, one of the attendants who'd gone through this to help clear it out has hung it on the hook, hoping that someone would come back and claim it later. Peeking through the satchel, you can see there are a number of notes here written in the flowing Aelthi women's script. Don't really know what they say, but there's a couple of other annotations on the side that look a little bit like they are almost like drawings. Botanical drawings that you can see. Someone has done a few sketches of some of the local flora. A couple of things you recognize. There's quite a nice sketch of a rock bud blooming underneath the falling rain. Yeah, it's quite well done.
Sounds sketchy.
Sounds sketchy. Well done. Congratulations. As you wander back into the front room, you stumble across Neivien and Alaran in the midst of Ralanat's interrogation. And we're going to dive straight back in. Neivien and Alaran. Last we left off with the conversation, you had been trying to extract some more information from Ralanat. I'd say through the liberal application of threats would be the best way to kind of describe your approach here. A combination of bad cop and confused cop kind of being employed, which I do like to see. It's a pretty solid attempt here to muck her over. And where we had left off in the midst of the interrogation, you'd managed to extract some key information. One, that she had kind of indicated that the Sons of Honor is a pretty male-dominated group, that she has a connection to Eali Sadius, Lord Sadius's wife, and that she was employed, or High Lord Sadius's wife, and that she has been employed by a number of people in the past for information gathering, for transport, essentially using her position and name to do things that others don't want to be tied to.
Did she say that to...
Yeah, we got Eali from...
We got Eali from...
Oh, apologies. Yes, sorry. Apologies. You got Eali from Zindan. My deepest apologies. Yeah, Neivien and Alaran. Sorry, you didn't get that information from... Sorry. My bad. That was Rav-eth and Ztar who extract that information. Yeah, that she was connected to Eali Sadius. Yes. So...
the kind of spot we were at was kind of Neivien intending for threat of harm, and Alaran kind of starting to be like, she's either, we have to have a deal with her because the threat of violence isn't gonna be a play, but we need her to basically share enough of why it is better that we make a deal, and basically we know that she has her network, so like we need to see what the steps would look like for that. And we were saying that if she is not with the Sons of Honor, then, and she is targeted by them, then being with us means that we could protect her from the Sons of Honor while we investigate them, or like, you know, shared interest in keeping her safe.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, my Roll20 is not loading. I've like shut it all down.
You on Chrome or Firefox? Yeah. Chrome? Mm-hmm. That is weird. I know we had some trouble with Firefox on Tuesday with Roll20, but I think that had been fixed.
I've got my demi-plane version of it open. I just might have to like...
That's okay.
Fudge around with the rolls.
We can work with that. That's not a problem. So, what would the two of you like to do? You watch as Hula stomps back into the room, giving you a bit of a nod as he looks over. Ralanat casting an appraising eye over Hula as well. Just watching him as he walks past, smirking a little bit as she looks back towards the two of you. Well?
I look to Alaran. Perhaps we should have a brief aside for a moment here.
Absolutely.
I kind of walk him far enough away that we're still able to see where she is, but hopefully not be overheard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with this situation. I agree that we may need to do something with her that's not just, putting her away for good in whatever sense that means. I'm just not sure what to do here. She's so slippery. I feel like anything that we say, she's turning it around.
I feel like in this moment, Alaran's trying to put that slipperiness that he can recognize into perspective with Neivien and context from our own experience. Is this the slipperiness and organization of a bright lady that is good with politics? Is that what we're kind of experiencing? Like, is this a sign that she is good at this stuff and therefore potentially that's something we should align with, or am I getting like she's twirling her mustache and
definitely insight check on that one for sure.
Okay,
it's a good question. It's a very good question, and one that I think is worth kind of ascertaining now where she's at, because it makes a big difference. If this is just the political maneuverings of someone who's used to working in that sphere, then you can kind of work around that. But if she's outright just fucking with you guys, where do you go from here? Like, how do you get her to take this seriously?
Well, I will just add that you were both aware of the plan to flip Zindan and use that to put the screws on her, so...
Yeah.
You both, just by being thrown by this character that Alaran's clearly enamored with, would be aware of the plan that if things aren't going astray, your backup plan would be hold on till we saunter out of the room.
Which you don't know yet.
Which is not.
Well,
far.
they don't know that we've succeeded, but they do know that regardless of what we did, we'd be walking out as though we did succeed. So
yeah. Before you come to like a conclusion, know that there's a plan B, whatever that may be.
Oh yeah, I think with the kind of narrative we had said was that freedom was not an option. It was like a conversation of whether or not she was walking out of here full stop, and that was like under a series of conditions. That was what we were trying to advocate for. I rolled my insight accidentally on my character sheet, and I rolled my nat 1 again. So my last 2 insights of her are just, I cannot, like, and I think it isn't even that, like, I think it is just genuinely like, I have started to see this slipperiness and critique in all of the Aelthi, and it is, instead of a critique of her, it is seeing that same politicking and conniving in my own house, in my own father's practice, in Neivien having a conversation in the Colinar estate, and I just start to go through and I'm like, this is every single like schema in every single place. Nobody is speaking a truth, and Alaran is just like not making a decisive action here because he does not know what to trust after this, and it is crumbling around him as he starts to like historically insight check every interaction he's had for the last decade of his life.
Alaran, either everyone has been lying to you your entire life or nobody has. That's what this natural 1 is. The knowledge or the emotional feeling that you cannot discern truth from lies anymore when speaking to Aelthi people. You just don't know. You cannot understand these light-eyed people, and you're feeling a deep distrust. Hula, the two of them wandered over towards you, so you're part of this conversation as well. Neivien, Alaran, and Hula, the 3 of you are all together.
Check out these rock blood drawings. Look how sketchy they look.
Hey, what? What do you... Oh, what is that?
Pun? Was that a pun?
It's been a pun the whole time.
Pun the first time. Yeah.
It was the pun the first time, but I chose to ignore it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Pressed it, and then I
That's why I told him well done. Why did you think I was rewarding him for that? Giving him congratulations, well done for like for just saying back.
I thought just because he's a sad man and it's his first session back after missing one, he's kind of fluffing up a little. Got
to throw Rory a bone once he's up, and just to keep him going. Yeah, that's it.
I would show my findings of said sketch and 83 marks to the group.
Do I make any the writing?
You can read them straight away. It's someone's journal. You can see that this is the journal of some probably a light-eyed woman, judging by the text, the content of it. The way in which she writes is very structured. The flow between each of the letters is almost calligraphic in a way. It's beautiful. Neivien, this is someone who's had a formal education for the looks of things. looking through the notes really quickly, having just a quick squiz. Do you want to make for me a quick, I'm going to say deduction or perception check, your choice.
I can do that. Let's deduce from it.
Yeah, whichever one you feel the most like doing. $19. Neivien, as you examine the notes and flick through them very quickly, yeah, definitely some sort of light-eyed woman. From the sounds of it, she reads quite young. The way she's writing her notes seem to be a bit, and her language, it's kind of like part diary, part observations, part botanical sketches and sort of taking note of things. It looks like she's kind of practicing for a role. Probably not a member of the Ardentia. She makes mention of like her brothers annoying her, talking about like fighting over who will inherit their father's blade. So you're definitely getting the sense that this is a daughter of a minor, or maybe not minor if they've got a blade, the daughter of one of the Aelthi houses. And as you sort of flick through, you get about partway down before you realize that this is probably a member of House of Varma, one of the other High Lords on the Shattered Plains right now. There's a mention of heading to Varma's camp. And her father having a meeting with the High Prince towards the very end. And then the last note in the journal is a discussion of the storm and having to be rushed into this crowded, smelly public storm shelter and her displeasure at such a thing.
Cool. I obviously relay just the high notes of anything relevant in that. Do you mind if I hang on to these, or do you want them for
No, all
something?
yours. All yours.
I might have a
me anyway.
right. Oh, okay. I might have a bit of a more thorough look through when we get some time. Perhaps not now, though. I think our issue here with this one, and she kind of gestures back in towards the corner. I feel as though initially when we went into this that it was a small fish in a big fish in a small pond, I should say. I'm not so sure about that anymore. It's almost as though it's a medium-sized fish that's jumped ponds into our pond. And I don't
Naveen's
really
like
know.
thinking of the Pure Lake. She's really like locking in now. Fish analogies and Pure Lake-isms.
It's all fish. It's all fish.
It's an unlucky fish. This one's lucky, but it's unlucky when it's in our pond. Yeah.
And I think she's possibly not even someone that we really need to be dealing with. I know that's a strange thing to say given how much time and effort we've put into obtaining her, but if she is kind of, I don't know, separate to all of this and has just been kind of caught up in the same storm, we'll get some information from her. I'm just not really sure on what to do with her next. How do you let go of fish that big without getting bit?
You leave the pond. If there's nothing good for us here in the plains. In Aliskar, there's nothing here to trust. If we want to be away from this.
But on the other hand, the easiest way to catch a big fish is with a slightly less big fish. So can we use her in
Hula's
some way to...
sounds different for some reason. You're not sure why. For podcast listeners, Rory is genuinely looking to the skies for help. His eyes are skyward bound, his hands are open, almost like he was preaching or praying for some sort of divine intervention. None's coming. Honor is dead, and there's no help coming.
To catch is a big fish. You need a big fish.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
The hands are important too.
Yeah. You need to be Ersik Lowlander. You don't have to do it. This is bullying, and I'm not standing by it. I'm the one bullying you. You're not going to be bullied.
Well, that's what you draw the line on?
No, I'm happy to bully. I've got no issues with it. I just checked with HR. I'm also HR. We're fine. We've checked. We got no issues.
Yeah. Fun accent here. What you said about the Vistani, like somewhere over here.
That's a throwback.
Ooh.
Nah, it was fine. And that never happened. There's no record of it. No one can find it. No one can prove it. The video evidence was scrubbed. Sorry.
Yeah, and they'll keep coming back on that photo of Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Hula. Yeah, you raise a good point. Use a smaller fish. Lucky you've got one. Currently contained in the next room over.
Do you want to, dangle that fish in front of the bigger fish? Is that your plan? Oh, no.
Who knows what his plan was? Mystery to all.
I need to have a serious think about my choices and my life and about feet. I will be back.
Alaran was thinking about how much Hula's fish analogy actually makes sense as someone from a coastal city himself. Looking at Hula, who keeps on talking about the mountains, and thinking mountains not where fish is, because Alaran probably doesn't know. I mean, he knows about lakes, but he probably doesn't think about mountain lakes.
And the rivers.
Well, you two options there: use the Zindan fish to catch the Ralanat fish, or use the Ralanat fish to catch the above Ralanat fish.
Yeah.
We could keep chain fishing. We could eventually we'll get to the shark.
As you're having this conversation, you can see Ralanat, who is still bound, by the way, but not gagged, sitting there, getting a little bit uncomfortable as she kind of gets in position, then calls out towards the three of you.
Yes, if you're quite done going through your strategy for how best to extract information, we can come and make a deal. I've said before, I'm willing to make a bargain. I've got no issues with coming to an agreement. You and I. I'm a businesswoman. Let's talk business. I've done work for the Sons of Honor. I've done work for many other peoples and organizations. Why not have me work for you? Let's come to a deal.
I'm sorry, but every time you speak, it becomes harder to convince these people that we can trust a word you say.
Why?
And, because every time you speak, we don't get information, but you do an awful lot of talking. And because you left us on the plains, there's a bit of bad will, especially within the party.
Oh, grow up. That wasn't personal. I didn't plan on leaving you there. I'm looking out for myself first. And plus, I'd like to point out you managed to survive just fine yourselves. So what's the problem?
The problem is the concern that that same practice would happen again. Now, before you respond, because I know you have many words to respond with, I want to make one thing clear. We aren't negotiating your freedom. We're negotiating your life.
Oh, no.
Well, that really puts a downer on the offers I was going to put forwards, because now I know my options are death or imprisonment. Are you going to keep me imprisoned or hand me over to another High Lord?
No, it was cooperation, but together. It wasn't thank you for information, good luck, and goodbye. You were going to have to work with us and stay with us until that agreement is met. And in exchange, not only were we not going to be the ones to stop you here and now, leaving you in the storm shelter, but we were going to make sure that the Sons of Honor don't get to you.
Consider it
You
a
help us.
indentured business venture.
Indentured business venture. It seems a waste of my talents, though, doesn't it? Just having me be a glossary, a compendium you can come and ask questions of. I'm far more effective out in the field.
You would be with us in the field.
I really doubt you're going to be trusting me to be out and about with chains and shackles on. There are people who know my face who would come after you if they saw me, a woman of quite high esteem in certain circles, being dragged around by, and please do not take the offence, by a bunch of nobodies. I don't think that would go very well for you. Is that really your plan? To have me with you just from now on, part of your little bunch? That's not going to work well for you at all.
Neivien, did she just explain to us why the plan that we were hoping to offer her for her life was not going to be practical?
I mean, she did have some good points.
I think she should be using her words specifically to give us the pathway forward that allows her and us to achieve our shared goals regarding the Sons of Honor, that keep herself safe and keep us working alongside her without suspicion or concern.
Counterpoint. Kill me. You'll never really know if what I said was true. Surely it makes more sense to have me alive, have me well and healthy so that I can corroborate things. And there's a lot of knowledge. I've lived a life.
So
there's a lot of secrets.
Here's our difficulty. At least
are our goals the Sons of Honor? Just a slight aside there. Sorry, Neivien. Do we give a shit about these people?
No.
Like, I mean, sure, there's been some assassins after us, I guess, that's as bad as Ralanat did, but, like, are we trying to... I don't think we've actually talked about it, but characters probably would have. Like, if our goal is take down Sons of Honor because they tried to kill us a couple times, Ztar's all on board, but I just don't think we've ever had that chat. It's a very valid point for what... Like, you talk about our goals there, Alaran, but, like, what are those?
This could be a good opportunity then, as she's kind of having this conversation. Alaran, Neivien, probably time to go check in with Rav-eth and Ztar.
Sorry to interrupt you, bro.
No. It makes perfect sense. That would kind of occur to you. Like, okay.
I think that the whole narrative was that she's passed it to the next tier of the threat, and absolutely we could deal with her, get our resolution here, and walk away, because that is true. We know that there is, always someone scheming up above that level, but this was the opportunity for her to essentially present the kind of conversation of what that working together would look like to take down the bigger threat would be.
And the bigger threat is what the wit, the royal wit, basically explained to us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was there. Yeah.
He basically set forward the King's wit. Sorry, yeah. He basically was the one that was like, you need to investigate this conspiracy.
That's right. Yeah. No, sorry.
That's the time.
I think his exact wording was, "You won't be safe. You will be hunted. You will be, unless
Right.
Yeah. That's right.
No, carry on.
Well, maybe this is a good opportunity as she's kind of like just nattering on. I'm perfectly happy for Neivien to just interrupt her and be like, all right, that's enough. Done. Shh. Quiet. Grab Alaran and head straight on into the room with Ztar and Rav-eth just to check and see how they're doing. If you wanted to.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, Ralanat, shut up. We'll be back. Just shut up.
As we're walking back into the room, I just wanted to ask, did we, from the book, the journal, did Hula or Neivien specifically say that it was a diary of someone from House Varma.
I would have
allowed
that. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I would like to bring about some lore that I think Alaran would have, because it's specific to some stuff that I built into his Aelthi expertise. Varma, one of the High Princes, his cousin is one of the people who was conquered by the Blackthorn during the Aelthi reunification. Alaran knows all of these people because obviously House Collian is a bit of a bitch to him. And so he has a list in his head, which are the people who would probably have some
beef
feelings or residual feelings about the current house control of Alethkar. So he would just basically mention that that's West Country and another victim of the Blackthorn and his campaign reunification.
I'll have a read through it properly when we get time, if we get time, and see if there's any other little nuggets that I can find in here that we might be able to use to our advantage.
Perfect. Rav-eth and Ztar. As Neivien, Alaran, and Hula head over and knock on the doors, you had just managed to extract quite a lot of useful information from Zindan. Not breaking him, but wearing him down and providing him with enough reason to flip on Ralanat.
I think at this point, Ztar and I were discussing what to do with Ralanat as well.
Which is why I think it's a good time for you guys to come together.
Yeah, we're probably in the midst of this conversation as they're arriving.
Perfect. As the three of you walk on into the room, I'd say it's probably makes more sense for you to head into the room with Zindan, close the door behind you. Maybe Hula can keep an eye out through the open door to see out Ralanat. You're very confident she can't hear you from where you are inside this room, no matter the distance. And she is currently manacled to the bench that she's sitting on. She's not going anywhere. As all five of you are back together once again.
Well, Zindan, thank you very much. You've been most cooperative.
Yes, you have.
And I think I think that has to be weighed against the harm that you've done, and the remorse you've shown. Clearly, but if we can, we'll help with what we can for you achieving your atonement here. Oh,
hello, Neivien.
Oh, yeah, friends. Oh, yes. Has your interview gone as well as ours?
I could only say not, I dare say, judging by the looks on everyone's faces in here.
Well, our good friend here, Zindan, has been most cooperative. He's given us information that will help us to identify the stolen stash, the one that Lord Rezi and subsequent Sons of Honor have been trying to locate.
And we know who she was working for out there. So I think we probably have enough to either skip her entirely if she was being a total pain in the ass, but we could, if you want to take some tidbits back out and go put the screws on her, and we could go together, or you guys yourself, whatever you want to, however you want to play it. If you want to use that to put pressure on, because, well, let's just say her value dropped to roughly that of someone we'd all like to see rot in prison forever.
It seems that she is, what was it, Zindan, that you said? She'd do anything to stay alive.
Right now, that's her main option. It's now alive or... Oh, I mean, at this point, she's a prisoner held in captive. I don't know how I feel about executing her, but...
I still think she is a liability, that she will become someone else's problem soon enough.
Oh, yes.
I do, but I just don't think there's much justice to be had in murdering someone in the dark in an abandoned storm shelter.
Well,
you still give that problem to someone else to cover their hands in blood. But I digress. I can see the moral dilemma that Ztar is facing at the moment.
I can see it, but I'm glad that somebody else is speaking reason about all this.
Yes.
It's probably a moment of realization, Rav-eth, that you and Neivien are 100% in agreement on a topic, and the moment of horror that you would feel.
No, just a topic relating to the well-being of a living person.
Look, when the rot spren is festering on a wound,
yep.
what do you do? You treat the wound. You do not let it fester further.
I mean, what do you do when someone has an infectious disease? You isolate them. You don't.
Infectious diseases are rare in Roshar because of investiture. They don't exist, Ztar.
Really?
Except if you're a planewalker, then you might introduce the common cold to a rural village, of which they will not have an immunity and they will quickly die out. But that is very rare.
Matt Rav-eth is 100% correct. Because of the nature of the high storms, infectious diseases are rarer on Roshar and haven't had as much opportunity to spread.
Did I do my homework? Yes.
And
I had it prepared.
I think it has happened. I think it has just happened. Or maybe it is about to happen. No, I think it's about to happen. It hasn't happened yet. It is about to happen. A group of 3 people heading to the Pure Lake are about to spread the common cold to Roshar for the first time.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember being a plot point. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Hasn't
then forget.
But
my people sing songs of infectious diseases that once
neighboring
happened.
planet, which names is it like Ashwood? Ashland? The neighboring planet? That fell to ruin because of diseases. Because they realized that they could get powers through disease, which is fucked. But anyway,
there's illnesses that carry investiture, and you get different powers from different illnesses and diseases.
Yeah, they also nuked the sky. That didn't help.
That didn't help.
Yeah. That didn't help.
This is some real Cosmere lore we're dropping here that your characters do not know.
I digress. This is out again. This is just
everyone's having seizures on the ground. Just
yeah.
Everyone's speaking the fucking what are the words you say at the moment of death. You just drop them and begin the rattles. All of you do lore rattles for a moment on the ground, then stand up and just brush yourselves off. It's fun. It's all good.
Weird.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, yeah, ignore that then. I don't say anything. You speak. Reason, but she is. Abhorrent though she is still someone in our care. But I will show you see what information we can get first, and
indeed. Look, I don't think we'll see eye to eye.
Decide the murder after.
Time is of the essence, and look, semantics aside, we can decide this at another point.
She's not a bad guy guarding an underground cavern. Like, she doesn't deserve immediate death.
Oh, but if we give her a weapon, will she just set?
Then she's running right for us, and there's nothing we can do.
Well then.
Before we step out there and
make a Fabrial that can electrically shock her when you grab her, some like Fabrial gloves that like induce. Oh, that's a pain reel. That's just a pain reel. It's just a pain reel.
Yes, Alaran.
Before we turn around and have that conversation out there, I think Neivien and I can confirm that she was less than cooperative.
Yeah, well, to be expected.
She thinks she has a lot to bargain with. And I don't think that I feel that is true anymore.
I'm inclined to agree, Alaran. So I think she needs to start bringing out the big guns and quickly for her to prove she has any value in,
What would that look like? What are we expecting her to share? What's the threshold?
At this point, I have no idea. We have more than enough to progress the plot. So she would have to throw us something that we're not currently expecting, and it to be useful and interesting for us. So it's on her to sell. At this point, she needs to sell us, really, honestly.
Here's the thing, though. We're going out there, we're arguing, she's useful, she can give us this potentially. I'm not really worried about that. I need to know what we're doing with her at the end of this. Because you say give her a weapon and then we can attack her. Her tongue is a storming weapon. If we put her somewhere, she will have someone get her out. She's not working alone. She has a lot of finances behind her, from my understanding.
Look, Neivien, if she was as well connected as she's making you think, she wouldn't have been dyeing her hair, living as a minor light-eyes in a random war camp.
Unless that was intentional.
It's plausible deniability. I mean,
Sure.
if she does have such connections with the queen at House Sadius, then it would make sense for her to fly under the radar, operate in a covert manner. I mean, presenting herself as such a connection would not suit House Sadius in any case, but to operate in the way that she has been, and then coming back to her mistress with this information would be how an operative would operate. It makes sense.
I agree. And look, I think from my view, there's two ways forward here. One of them leads to her death. One of them leads to her freedom. And
I'll put it this way: did House Sadius or any of her other allies come and rescue her from that Sons of Honor dungeon?
But they wouldn't.
No, we did that. There's not if we put her in a prison. Like many people get put in prison that have a silver tongue.
she hadn't been there long. We literally just...
We have no idea how long she was there. She was there long enough to have Zindan be unconscious and her be in the interrogation. It was long enough for us to track down where she was, realize that she was in danger, talk to several people, have a drink at a bar, and still track her down, murder like 8 people, and then free her.
Look,
if she was a liability to these people, I do not think, but like you said, plausible deniability, that like how Sadie is not going to wander into Beth App's camp and say, "Oh, our criminal is in your prison. Please give her back." I think putting her in prison is significantly less of a threat than you're making it out to be. Like,
if I'm going to entertain the idea of if we hand her over to House Betha, we do the correct lawful thing. She goes to jail, sure. The blood is off of our hands. We push that responsibility onto House Bethab.
Yes.
Give it a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, a month. If, and most likely she will, somehow, Silver Tongue, sweet talk her way out of that predicament and causes more chaos for us down the line. Are you willing? Are you prepared to put ourselves, all of us here, under threat once again to stop this woman?
At that point, she'll be straight in a hole. Like if she does exactly what you said, then justice demands. The law has then failed. We then need to become the law.
Let me say this, and
we are not. Why would we be justified in deciding that we can dole out that capital punishment? Why are we the judge, jury, and execution here? Because you think it's most likely that maybe she'll be able to talk her way out of prison, despite having no evidence to this, because she's never been in prison.
That we know of. But let me put this same point to you then that I put to Alaran here earlier. If we do this, if we hand her over, as Rav says, every person who dies inadvertently through that process of her escaping and her continuing her machinations, that's on us.
No, it is not. That is on the people that failed to imprison her. Once we hand her over, she is no longer our responsibility. We have done our duty and followed the law, and she has received just punishment. Hell, Bethab may execute her for her crimes as is. What she has done is probably a capital offense, staging an ambush on his caravan. I don't give a shit what he does with her once he has her. That is following some kind of law beyond us just arbitrarily killing whoever we like.
I don't disagree.
What she does after is what she does. That is her actions. We are not responsible for what she does after someone else has failed in their action. That's like 3 actions. If we just said on your bike, love, and let her out now, but because she offered us money, then it's on us what she does.
I will say one final thing, and then whatever the group decides, the group decides. If we let her go, anyone that dies is going to be a hard lesson earned for you.
There'll be a hard lesson learned for the people that let her go. The guard that freed her, the guard that was bribed, that is the man that has then done the crime, and he would be then brought to justice for that crime. But it is, we cannot control what other people are doing. All we can stop is us killing someone here and now that is under our protection, whether we like her as an individual or not, whether we think she's a good person or not. We have freed her from a dungeon for a purpose, and she is now under our protection.
I've said my piece, so be it.
Alaran,
Might
what do you
I interrupt?
yes,
I'm sorry. You've been having this conversation in front of me, and I feel I need to share something of my experiences working with the Bright Lady Ralanat. For you, Bright Lady and Bright Lord, you would not hear the conversation I had with these two. She's a dangerous woman. If you are to keep her imprisoned, it will need to be very careful who you trust. I think my life would be a lot easier if she was dead. But to think that she does not have information that would be useful to you now or later is foolish. She has worked for a long time to gather information that is damaging to those in positions of power. She has worked for so many of them, gathered their secrets while gathering secrets for them. The question is whether you think the risk of her escaping, which is, I think it would be remiss to not address. There is a risk. She is clever. She is canny. She is very manipulative. She can convince people to act against their own self-interest. You would need to be very careful who can keep her contained. But if you were to have someone you could trust, she would bargain for things. But I would advise extreme caution. You might be better off to kill her. It will certainly be easier for you.
I am also not advocating necessarily to imprison her. I'm advocating that we are not the ones who get to decide whether she died. If we take him to Bethab and Bethab says, hey, what do you think her punishment should be? Leave her out for a high storm is my recommendation. But it is not for me to just tie her up out for the high storm now. That's not for any of us to decide.
She has blackmail on High Lord
Bethab,
just so you are aware. If you hand her over to Bethab...
That could be good information for her to tell us right as we go back out there.
If you hand her over to Bethab, be prepared. She will threaten to reveal things. And she has caches in places. If she does not communicate via span reads often enough, information will be revealed. Her death could cause as much chaos, just so you are aware.
Is there a central location where she's keeping all of this information? There's no way she keeps it all in her head, surely, that many tidbits about so many different people.
No, she does not. She keeps a lot of it in two main locations. One is in Zadias's war camp with her friend Eali. I know that she carries most of these secrets, but there are some that Ralanat has kept even from her. Back in Alethkar, at her old family's estates, there is a vault. I have seen it before, in the study.
Do you have access to that vault on her behalf?
It is with a key. The key is kept with a loyal servant, her main butler back at the manor house. If you were to travel to Alethkar, it is on the outskirts of Kolinar. You would be able to find her family's old manor grounds. The estate is in disrepair, but it is still well staffed.
I think that's good food for thought right there.
Excellent food for thought.
Especially if these are things that she's keeping from her other friend, Lady Sidious. That could be very useful information if we could somehow play that off what we have here.
I think I hear that there is a path forward if we can find this variable. Who can we trust to imprison her? There isn't anyone in Alaskar that we can trust to keep her.
There is
Like I said, if Bethab's, if we're right now, the only High Lord we seem to have any faith in whatsoever is High Lord Bethab. If we take him to her and the legal precedent says she should be murdered for her crimes, as I suspect she probably would be, then this is all a non-issue.
Here's the
Neivien,
thing, though.
Sorry, before you share, I need to speak. Neivien, she has been serving high princes, high lords, working for them in the shadows, her reputation covering her. No accountability from the high princes if anything were to trace back to her. Do you feel that we are any different with my position and badge? Wouldn't we get disowned if we were caught in the camp just before? You think Bethab would have come and recovered his man?
No, Alaran, I don't.
I don't think so either. I think just like Ralanat working in that space between loyalties and allegiances, we are in that void as well.
We are, except for one key point, that we don't have dirt on all the people that are going to hold us captive.
Again, if she does have dirt on Bethab, I doubt she'll be held captive.
Exactly. That's my point.
No, I think he will kill her. He's not going to let her go. He'll just execute her. Again, I cannot stress how much I am not advocating for her life in prison over execution. Just that we do not execute her ourselves.
Ztar, it is not that black and white, but I understand what you're saying and that you don't want to be the one to make that decision. It should be a higher power, whatever that means, that makes the call. So be it. But my issue is, if she's got dirt on whoever we turn her over to, that's going to lead to her being freed, not to execution.
I mean, the fastest way to kill someone is to stop someone from talking is to just kill them.
If they're the ones who are opening their mouths. But if you're going to set a chain in order from that, like I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Zindan.
Like Zindan was saying, if she dies, people will start spreading everything. It will be a political bomb of sorts.
And you're prepared for that on your conscience?
Well, not necessarily. That's new information to me.
If we kill her, then that will happen regardless.
I agree. I'm not necessarily saying she dies. I'm saying she no longer becomes a problem.
I'm saying this is she will become that problem. The problem here is that we cannot foresee the consequences of what us killing her would unfold. We are not almighty. We do not make laws here. We do not say what is right and wrong. This country has their way of doing it. We can take that to the High Lord. He can make that call. If he lets her out, then I'm all aboard. Team laws failed. Let's go kill her. I'll shoot her in his palace if that's what happens. But until then,
Ztar, I hear you. As Bethab's High Examiner, I have heard you say that it is not our place to make this call, that we must follow process, and our job was to recover Ralanat information if we could and return with that information.
Well, your job was actually just recover her bring him the person who killed his caravan. I don't think he really gives a shit about the information we wanted about why she was attacking us.
Your specific charge as the examiner is to investigate and find out who, what, when, where, and why. That is your charge. Not to take it any further than that. Your charge is to find out the knowledge and then take it back to Bethab. Specifically, yeah, which you do have a fair chunk of it now. Specifically, you are to take it directly back to Peligan. As the High Marshal, it is his job to administer the High Lord's justice.
And that would include bringing her back. We've got all of the pieces. If she is an important witness, yes, you would know that is something. She's
and you
the
have
one
her.
that has provided all of the information that would be the evidence, even though, potentially Zindan, but...
Yeah. It could be worth... I mean, she's got connections to a lot of very important people. Might be good to find out who she doesn't have connections with.
Alaran walks towards Hula and then casts back over his shoulder to Neivien. Neivien, it's probably not a conversation in front of Zindan, but we should probably start thinking about what happens after we take the prisoners back to Bethab. Do we stay and rest? Do we go and move and find somewhere quiet to sit, or are we off somewhere else? I think you guys should turn your attention to that and not the prisoners for now.
If I may, it does appear that this cache that Zindan has told us is still on the Shattered Plains, which I believe that there are many parties interested in locating this cache. I think it would be pertinent, as much as I would like some rest and relaxation, it would be pertinent, in my professional opinion, that we find this cache before it gets into the hands of our enemy, which seems to be the Sons of Honor. Unless you all have a different opinion on that?
No, I mean, on one hand, getting that material would probably make us a target for them, but that would be probably the fastest way to finding them.
If I may, Ztar, I think we're already a target. I think we're long past that point. I mean, obviously, High Lord Mintez knows who we are, and he at least knows who Alaran is. And I have no doubt that his spies in the city that we were just in would know us all by our facial features. I for one am pretty easy to spot. I would suggest we locate this item of importance. It at least gives us some sort of bargaining chip. It gives us some sort of leverage. If this is going to be some sort of prolonged political intrigue that we play against the other houses, without it, I don't think we have much on the table, and we can't really let it get into the wrong hands.
I agree. So can we please go talk to her first, find out what she's willing to give us in exchange for not murdering her right here, and then we can take her to Bethab. We'll make the call on what we do after. But
I agree. Let's go have a chat with her. But can we please keep in mind the fact that she has dirt on Lady Sadius back at her estate?
Sure.
I think that's possibly a lead.
Also worth collecting, 100%.
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily dirt. They have some sort of relationship that would be beyond just a working one.
Well, Zindan said that the information at her estate is facts that she hasn't even shared with the Bright Lady Sadius.
It is things that she does not
Sadius
want.
has the facts that they're collaborating on. It may not necessarily be dirt on her, but it is stuff that she did not want even her close companion to know.
I will gladly share that there is no one who Ralanat has not interacted with, friend or foe, who she has not collected damaging information on. It is her collateral. Everyone she interacts with, she does all she can to find weaknesses, to find pressure points, she calls them.
It does make sense.
Zindan,
everything you've told us makes sense. Yes?
Zindan, you talk about this work. Surely she's had some missteps. Has she got anyone offside, like that they would not negotiate with her, like that?
Other than the Sons of Anarchy, because the Sons of Honor.
Sons of Anarchy.
No, I'm
That's
thinking, is there a high prince that already is wary of her, that would not trust her and she has no handle over, someone that she actually would fear?
That is a very good question. Sabariel, she does not have a good relationship with. Many in his camp, she has a poor relationship with. I know that she has struggled for some time to get the roots into Erokar and his family. His wife back in Alethkar has been unsuccessful. And the Blackthorn as well, Dalinar Colden. She and the Ali were disparaging of the Blackthorn's wife, and I do not think he has shown any interest in her or Yali since.
Alaran takes that information and puts it away because he assumes Sadius, Kolinar, strong allies, and then just thinks that filters down through the whole house. And so that is a good piece of information that challenges that idea. Alaran.
Just double check. Do we actually fully trust this guy at this point? That he's being honest and he's not just
He's been
some of these relationships.
double insided.
Yeah.
But also that is why we haven't committed to a specific plan. We need to have
from
memory.
he could be saying
these families are the ones you should give.
Well, the way we reckoned it last session, if we go check out that cache and the weapons or whatever the Sons of Honor wanted are there, there's probably a pretty good bet that everything he said is true.
Yeah, and he offered to take us there. So he's putting himself on the line a little bit, which is
should
we have a way to at least test if we fully trust the
Or we got a really elaborate ambush set up.
Yeah.
Also possible.
Yeah, but he specifically said, and this is information for Neivien, Alaran, and Hula. He specifically said, no, she's lying. We did secure the shipment that the Sons of Honor were after, and we hid it in a small cave on the Shattered Plains to go and recover it later.
Does that that explanation, does that track with what Alaran saw when they were fleeing away, or are they saying they came back after the initial fleeing?
You haven't pressed that. That's an interesting question you haven't pressed. And the last you saw of them was as they were gathering together things from her cart.
The last thing was as they were pushing off, and she gave Alaran a bag and was running and saying, "Come with us," essentially. Yeah. And then the guards caught Alaran. He dropped the bag.
Yeah, correct.
That was them already left the tent. Can I?
Left the tent, heading to the wagon.
Okay, cool.
So
I thought we're
if they recovered,
out of
no apologies. Yeah, if they recovered this shipment, it would have been right after you were separated from them.
Okay. Well, I won't press anything specific there, because if it doesn't line up with what I already know, it's feasible that it has happened after the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we all set? Are we ready for this?
Could I ask that just a show of hands, thumbs up or thumbs down, is she walking out of this room? Your current vote.
I have my reservations. I think Neivien shares them with me based on this little exchange, but
I've heard
you are welcome to kill her. If you do, Ztar will walk out of here without you. I don't know why I'm the third person now, but
no. Let me finish. Let me finish, Ztar. Your words have moved something in me. My professional opinion states, and my feeling on this is that we should not let this festering wound of a human being exist. But in good context, your points of morality and keeping her alive may benefit us in the long run. So I'm inclined to agree with Ztar, as much as it pains me. And also perhaps to keep the goodness of this team together.
with similar.
The other option, of course, is that we cut out the middleman, let her go ourselves in a trade of some sort of loyalty or leverage.
Well, yes, that is true. If she does escape House Bethab, I have
better to escape with a deal of stay away from each other.
I have no interest in pursuing her to the detraction of this party. I don't want to put anyone under any undue risk if there was to be a subsequent quest for.
No. If she escapes again, I'm dropping everything and hunting her down.
I'm saying that I wouldn't endanger the rest of the party to do that.
This may be relevant.
By all means, please urge your vengeance upon her, but I am not putting myself or any of the team members here under any sorts of unnecessary. We have other things to deal with, not some rogue agent that we let slip away and did not deal with properly the first time.
Can we see her, or is there a chance she's already escaped?
Hula, you can see her from where you are. There is it may be of relevance, just so you're aware. She is vindictive when she feels she has been wronged.
Oh, lovely.
The attention that we have suffered, the treatment that she had under the Sons of Honor back in the camp under Mintez's group, that is an insult that she will not slide. For what the Sons of Honor have done, just so you are aware, they will be her number one target to go after.
Oh,
It could be an enemy of my enemy situation.
You have not done anything to hurt her, to annoy her.
Whole angle.
Yeah.
Just so you are aware, in my experience, she is vindictive, and any slight against her, she responds with extreme overreaction.
Is she looking kind of beat up or bloodied at all?
Not visibly, Hula.
Right. So allegedly she's had all this torture, and Zindan looks hurt, but she's also been allegedly tortured, but doesn't show any sort of active wounds on the outside.
I mean, she nearly died.
She had like her throat cut.
She got a neck cut. Like she nearly.
I saw that happen. I'm talking about like other wounds besides that neck cut that we were there for.
I mean, all that you can see of her is her right hand. Left hand's the safe hand, isn't it? Yeah, left hand's the safe hand. Mm-hmm. So all you can see of her is her right hand, like a little bit of her upper neck, and then her face. Everything else is covered in like these big layered dresses. There's every chance that shit's been done to her. You just can't see it.
There's also every chance, I would say, that the reason the Sons of Honor may have wanted her is the same reason they want us.
It's possible.
What do you mean?
I mean,
is her neck wound still there? Is her throat still like cut?
It's I mean, it's been partially healed. I think Rav-eth
she regrowed it.
Yeah.
Would that heal it as in like how we would regenerate to the point where there's no scar, or would it
regrowth? Yeah, regrowth is exactly the same as how your Stormlight works. Essentially, it kind of like restores your physical form to what your spiritual form looks like.
Right, gotcha.
Look, there is a possibility that letting her go could sow further chaos within the ranks of the Sons of Honor, which could be useful for us if we are deeming them an enemy.
But how do you direct that weapon?
You don't.
I think we've heard all of the conversations. We've talked in circles.
So we're going. Ztar's vote.
Any promises she makes, you can't trust. She will say whatever she needs to say, just so you know. Anything she says that she will do.
It would be
about combat.
Interesting conversation she could have. Can I get a thumbs up if you think she is walking out of this facility?
We can't see your thumb, Matt. You're a little bit more central. Thank you. Perfect.
Okay. Let's go hear what she has to say.
We also flip a two-sided die. If anyone has that on them.
A coin?
Heads, she lives.
Still three-sided.
Heads, we kill her. Tails, she dies.
It's finally a 50-50 chance.
Whoa!
As you stride back out of the room, are all of you coming out of the room? Oh, united front. Love to see it. As all five of you stride out of the room, leaving Zindan behind. Again, he is manacled to the chair. He's not going anywhere. This is also like a side antechamber with no exits apart from the door in and the door out. So you're pretty confident if he's going anywhere, it's going to be through you guys. As you leave, slamming the door behind you and stride towards her, in partial slow motion, all of you walking together, serious looks on your faces. You watch as she raises an eyebrow, leaning back a little bit.
Right. You all look pleased as punch with yourselves. Let me guess. You've convinced my manservant to share some details, and now you think you've got leverage over me. Go on then, let's hear it.
That's jujitsu.
We were just wondering if, with the time that you've had to reconsider the offer that you've already been presented.
Your offer, as I understand it, is that I tell you everything of import right now and you think about whether or not you kill me? That was your offer, as last I heard it?
That's a misunderstanding. It was to suggest a path of action that we can take together towards our shared goals against the Sons of Honor.
Done. I see two paths available to you. The first is you let me go. You've rescued me from the Sons of Honor, and I am very grateful for that assistance. I mean, this is all. We can put this behind us and forget this ever happened. I will do everything I can to cause them as much discomfort as possible, and I have considerable resources to do that. Or we find somewhere comfortable, somewhere safe, somewhere where I am able to relax without fear of the Sons of Honor retaliating. I tell you what you need to know to go and do the dirty work for me. I'm happy. If you wanted to take me back to Bethab's camp, I don't want to be in a smelly jail cell. I don't want to be locked up in some underground facility. I'm talking as many guards as you see fit, as many locked doors between me and the outside world. But I want windows. I want nice food. I want comfort. And I'll tell you everything you need to know to take out these Sons of Honor.
Well, that's a different tune. Alaran, Neivien, is that what she was saying earlier, that she's happy to be in a prison cell as long as it's comfortable?
It was something like that.
We didn't quite get that far.
No, they were debating how best to kill me, or what method that they were going to utilize. I was threatened with smokification, a rather creative death, I must say. I haven't seen anyone killed by Soulcaster before. I imagine it's quite quick and painless. No? Yes?
It's not.
Oh, that's Chelsea.
How do you know my child's name? What have you done to my gorgeous baby girl? I'll tell you anything. Just return her to me and I'll tell you everything. No. What?
Do you think that taking you back to Bethab will be a safe place for you?
Well, unless you have information that would make me think otherwise, I would have thought that High Prince Bethab's camp would be a rather secure one.
Our only other thought was whether or not we should take you to the colons, the security.
Oh, please. I'm going to be shoved straight into the darkest cell Dalinar can conjure. No, thank you. Got no interest in heading to Colin.
I do wonder, whatever the end result is here with our little bargains, you're going to be on the warpath against these people. Is that fair to say?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I don't like it to be inconvenienced. I don't like it to have my professional integrity questioned. I will be taking action against those responsible, yeah.
All right, so if that's the case, where is this gratitude to us for saving your life and allowing you this opportunity? If you were going to be doing this regardless, then you simply pointing us in the right direction is far from beneficial.
All right. I'll play your game. Who do you want to go after first? There's a number of people involved in this little group, this cabal here on the Shattered Plains right now. Who do you have the most problem with? Mintez will be coming for you. And there are others on their way to the Shattered Plains already. Thanadel? Ah, Rezi. Well, there's a lot I could tell you about Bright Lord Rezi. His drinking habits, his dark and sour moods, his desperate need for approval from his...
Thanadel's son, not Rezi.
Thanadel's son. Now there's an interesting character. What do you know already? I'll fill in any gaps you have.
This, as an above-table aside, is Ztar going off script for backstory purposes? Just
yeah.
I just
go for it. This is a telling.
Quickly click onto the This is the part I will need something from the DNA. Ztar would know. So the back. Oh, I mean, see, I could monologue this with what I would know to make this work, but Ztar also wouldn't share his life story with this mole either.
Then in that case, you can just say, you can just keep it simple. Like, I just have an interest in him, and say no more than that if you want. She'll give you information. She's happy to share that. No problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I have an interest in seeing that particular light-eyed slime brought to justice.
Curious. Well, the younger Thanadel has, shall we say, a bit of weakness in his father's eyes. Not trusted like Rezi is to wield his plate and blade. The younger Thanadel has contented himself with whoring, drinking, gambling. A number of debts that man owes. Staggering. Last I heard, he was, I believe, making his way to the Shattered Plains. Rezi's performance has slipped, losing in that duel to Adolin. Not a good look. What's more, his violence, his drunken behavior is getting out of hand. Thanadel has called his son to come to the Shattered Plains to make a man of him. Also to get him out of his gambling debts, I imagine, as well. He'll be here within the month.
Besides the rival, not much you've given me there that isn't already...
He is also knowledgeable. Not a full member of the Sons of Honor, but his father's been trying to groom him, giving him small tasks to perform. One was the procurement of a large number of parchment. No idea why. Some sort of experimentation, I believe. Sons of Honor were interested in gathering together large numbers of the creatures. Perhaps to look for some connection to the Parshendi like yourself. This news has upset you. I apologize.
Yeah, actually, that's probably good. I'll let them note.
I was not involved in any part of this, just so you're aware. I found this out through my, a friend, shall we say. I don't trade in flesh. Too risky. Not profitable enough.
You quite
trade in assassination.
Slave following you around, and what do you mean you not trade in flesh?
I don't procure and sell. I will purchase a parchment or pay for a servant if I need, like any other. I don't trade in flesh. I don't procure and sell parchment or beasts of burden or humans, for that matter. I have no interest in the slave trade.
But you have no issue with assassination attempts and caravan exploits.
Again, I had no part in the deaths, and I had no knowledge that there would be an attack via Rezi and his troops, Thanadel's troops. I normally, assassination is not my area of expertise. If I need someone killed, I have people that I can speak to, and that is very rare. most of the time I trade in information and goods. Far safer, far less likely to end up with my head on a chopping block, or hanging from a gibbet.
So if one were to say want to collapse the entire house of Thanadel, where'd be a good place to start?
Well, that is an interesting one. Depends what point of leverage you're after. Thanadel has a number of shards. Those shards are what allow him success on the field and allow him to maintain such a force here on the Shattered Plains. However, his finances are in a dire state. If he were to lose, maybe a blade and a plate, maybe 2 blades, his ability to procure shards and procure gem hearts would be severely crippled, and his debts would start to catch up with him, as would his usefulness with the Sons of Honor wane.
Ztar, what do you mean taking down an entire house?
Where is this coming from, Ztar?
Do you not recall what I told you when I infiltrated their house? What I heard him speaking of with Rezi. Him and the Sons of Honor are. This is probably more than we should speak of in front of one such as this. The man is dangerous. He must be removed.
One man, sure. You're talking about wanting to bring down his entire house.
What is a light-eyed man? You remove one, he will just be replaced by the one under him. I promise you, his son is worse than he is.
I must agree, his son is particular scum. Not my taste.
So then we take out him, and then he's replaced by someone else, so on and so forth.
I feel like this is a bit out of the...
But yes, possibly a bit out of time. Yes, fine.
One thing that might actually be beneficial to us to a degree, and I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time with this, but do you know of Bright Lady Navesh?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what her involvement is with the Sons of Honor?
Yes. She has been a researcher for them for some time.
Researching what?
Why, the Voidbringers. Specifically looking into fabrial designs from the age, from the desolations.
Oh, Neivien actually just walks away at this point.
All right. I think on that, Alaran might see that there's 2 big pieces here.
I have offered you very valuable information. Information that clearly has had a profound effect on at least 2 of your members.
Yes.
Is this enough of a show of goodwill, or must I offer a 3rd? They say all good things come in 3s.
Yes, and I will ask for the 3rd piece.
Wonderful.
And it is simply this. If you say that we are taking you to some comfort and you are setting us on that path, what are the next actions that we should be taking for our shared path of getting justice?
Well, Sons of Honor seemed very... Well, Mintez in particular seemed very interested in reclaiming whatever it is that was lost from that caravan. Might be worth tracking down a few more members and see if they know anything more. See if you can locate this missing item. Perhaps someone else, another member of their group, has absconded with it. A wedge that you could drive deeper into their group.
So what is it specifically that we are looking for? It's hard to look for a package or crate that...
Fortunately, I don't know much more than that. A large chest made of a darkened wood, metal bands around the outside, locked with an interesting, curious lock design I'd not seen before.
Can Rav-eth inside check her at the moment? Like, she's been saying a lot of shit, and I'm like, is this even real? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably worth
no way.
Probably worth a check.
No way.
I think I agree with you. It is probably very wise not to reveal that you know she's full of shit on this one thing. I think that's a very good call.
I was using it specifically for the insight, like, because it's a piece of information that
you objectively know she's lied to you in this moment.
Yeah.
And we can
confirm
it if we find this package.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
otherwise.
This means that either Zindan or Ralanat is lying to you about, and more lying by omission in her case, or in Zindan's case, if it's him who's lying, outright fucking lying, which you don't think he's doing. Rav-eth, 15. She's good. This is a woman who has spent her life weaving stories, using words as her weapons to shift people's perceptions, to change how they think and feel about things. She's good. The tells that you would normally look for, she spent a lifetime mastering and masking. But there is that subconscious, that feeling that something's not right. You can feel yourself being persuaded by her. You can feel your suspicion lowering a little bit as she talks. You can feel your trust heightening, and you are suspicious of that instinct in this moment.
Yeah, I look at like Ztar and Neivien, who are instantly like wrapped, like immediately. There's like these pieces of information that she's fed both of them. I just like have instantly hooked them in, and I'm like kind of like shaking my head a little bit. Like this is too easy for her right now.
And the way she spoke about Navesh to Neivien, in particular Rav-eth with a 15, she knows who Neivien is.
Mm-hmm.
She knows who all of you are. She would have seen she knows all your names. You were on the manifest for the caravan. She knows your names. This is a woman who Zindan has said her closest friends finds all the dirt she can on them.
Yeah.
She would have researched you before she left on this.
I'm sure she would have picked up who I was from the questions I just asked them, because she's not stupid. But would you say she knew who I was prior to those questions?
It's hard to say. Probably not. You would have been much less on her radar than a Vedan light-eyed, definitely. Same as if Hula had been on the caravan, he wouldn't have been worthy of such a dig into his past. But
we are not related to this at all.
A light-eyed Vedan woman, son of a Beth-Ab light-eyed, minor light-eyed. Neivien and Alaran would have been worth a look into, and it's very possible she's done a bit of digging on Alaran too. I mean,
I would assume my past with baby Thandol, then it never would have been open that he would have been working with a Parshendi.
No, exactly.
Like rumors about whether he had a smarter than usual Parshman or
might have. Yeah.
I mean, from a distance, Ztar's quite pale and might pass for a weirdly scarred up shin. So I suspect there would have been rumors around some of the company he would have kept. So I think she probably would have pieced that together basically instantly.
Yeah.
But I was curious to think if she was acting like she knew who I was. Because I mean, I would be very impressed if she was keeping tabs on Parsh on that character.
No, exactly. You don't know. It's more Neivien who you think she would have done research on even before the caravan left Alethkar. In your case, Ztar, it looks like she's putting together some dots now. Or in the last couple of days. Neivien, I would love for you to make a history check. Thank you for messaging. Definitely. As you've walked off to kind of think this through, you're trying to put together what you know about your time with Navesh. Let's do it.
And what would this be? I've just realized that history is not an option. Would this be a law?
Yeah, law would be the closest. Yeah, law. I think law works. Deduction. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to deduce it. And
it's such a good fucking
raise the stakes on that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
this is a great opportunity to raise the stakes. Oh, it's an opportunity. So total of 16 plus you get an opportunity. Neivien, would you like to spend your opportunity now to have a important connection point immediately remembered to you, in addition to the 16?
Yes. So Neivien, with everything discussed, even such a short, quick little chat about Navesh, it's just linking stuff left and right from her time under her, studying under her. And yeah, what have I? What
I'm
puzzle
going
pieces
to give you.
come
I'm going to
together?
give you a choice for your opportunity. Would you like to have a piece of information, specifically linking Navesh with this opportunity? I can give you some options here. Linking Navesh to a couple of different groups. Oh, I don't want to say too much though. I know it's all good. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do here. Neivien,
Go for it.
as you think back and reflect back, your time spent training, ever since Navesh came and is the word we're going to go for recruited here out of what happened?
Honestly, at that point, yeah, I guess that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, and Navesh seemed very quick after your experiences in the Ardenture. Navesh was very quick to come and find you and to remove you from your chosen path in that area. And she always seemed very interested, questioning subtly and slowly, not at first, waiting and biding her time to find out your experiences with the Soulcaster, waiting long enough to befriend you, long enough to be seen as a bit of a mentor to you. But she did, over months, subtly get information from you that you would never normally have been allowed to share within the role where you were. I don't want to say too much. I want to kind of keep a little bit of the backstory secret, but in what you were doing, she managed to get information out of you during that time. And at first you thought it was because she was trying to help you, to talk about it, to talk it through and to remove it from, and from a scholarly interest. She seemed genuinely interested in this. Looking back now, you realize that she was extracting information from you, information she normally wouldn't have had easy access to. And in addition, she was clearly, in the lead up to your movement to the Shattered Plains here, she was getting more and more stressed about some communication. Normally, she would have no problem with you glancing in while she was on her span reads. But in the last few months, you were suddenly kept out of her private office, her private study, no longer allowed to just walk in. And in those final days leading up to you being sent to the Shattered Plains, looking back now, you start to wonder whether you were sent here or you were sent away. Maybe she didn't want you around for something. And this was a way to get you out of her hair for a bit, away from what was going down and what she was going to be doing. Something she could give you, a task to keep you away from her for a moment. Well, I say for a moment, for some months.
Huh.
Because this whole thing, coming to get designs, that's really fallen apart. And now that you're looking back, doesn't really make much sense anyway. If they're so secretive, Spanreed would have been the far more secure way to transfer this information. Like, what? The more you probe at this, the more you're like, this makes no sense. The whole premise for me coming here is it's complete chow dung. It's complete chowder. So what is going on? With your opportunity, those final few days, there was one piece of communication you overheard. A visitor who came to your townhouse, or came to her townhouse where you were staying, to meet with her. You never saw their face. They stayed hooded for most of the time, and she very quickly sent you away to go and study a book and go through some notes, to play around with the Fabrial design while she met with this person in her private study. They were there for a long time, long enough that you went to go and check to offer some refreshments to her and her guest, as you would offer to her normally. And you overheard discussion about a Soulcaster and whether it was ready. That would have been enough for you to turn and walk away, I suspect, which is why you didn't hear the rest of the conversation.
Okay.
Do you like your history check? Was that it was a deduction check? Is that
it was good shit. Yes, hell yeah. Neivien doesn't know what to do with that, crumbling of how many years of her life under tutelage from this woman now. Okay.
Why do I keep doing this to you, Raph? What is it about you and I where I feel the need to destroy your character's backstory? like this, it's all a lie. It's the second time we've done this now. Fascinating. Everything you thought was true isn't. I'll examine my priors on that and we'll come to a conclusion later. Let's not read into it now.
I think Naivien's just processing. I don't think she's kind of just standing off to the side for now.
Ztar, Rav-eth, Hula, Alaran. The four of you still there talking to Ralanat.
Yeah, Ztar probably started. He realized he probably one, said too much, and two, probably started using the situation more for personal gain than may have been appropriate. So he'd kind of just start shutting up. Look, I think we've all clocked that she's lied to us here, at least by omission. So we can't really trust everything she's saying. But I think she has made it clear that she's effectively a font of information. If we ever needed to do anything underhanded, there's probably not a better resource than her. So
I think it's good that
we weren't planning on killing her anyway. But I think we get her to House Bethab, and if she survives that encounter, I think it's in our best interest to keep her alive, secure.
There is another caveat in all of this. Probably not for her ears though.
Well,
if it can wait, let's hold on to it for a minute that we can speak alone.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything they want to say to her? Look,
I would prefer.
I gets repeatedly mocked by this woman, so he's probably just going to be quiet in the tense situation.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you can speak and say nothing foolish, well done, Hula.
I have nothing to say to this woman.
Look, look, you've given me nothing that wasn't fairly common knowledge there. Look, you're someone who clearly knows
You did not know that Thanadel's son was being inducted into the Sons of Honor, nor did you know that he was on his way to the Shattered Plains. Common knowledge, please.
I did know that he was on his way to the Shattered Plains because I had already found that out from the mouth of the man himself. That's not new to me. The exact date is new, but hell, that's not that important. Him being inducted in the Sons of Honor, anyone could have probably guesstimated that from where Thanadel is. Sure, you highlighted
the fact that Thanadel has lost confidence in Bright Lord Rezi, that he's thinking about replacing his great protector, his defender, with his own son, a man wholly unsuited to the task.
Well, I mean, the fact that he was replacing with the son, I didn't have that exact knowledge. The fact that he was a bit pissy with Rezi, knew that as well. Like I said, you clearly know enough to give us information or anything. Nothing you gave me is revolutionary to the point that I'm changing what my opinion was, which was option 2 you mentioned.
Fine.
Alaran
went revolutionary.
Hands the gag that he took off her earlier to Hula and says, if you wouldn't mind.
I mean, you cut that gag. Remember, you cut
off.
that gag for kinetic effect.
I did. Okay.
So I have to roll for gaggery again. And I will roll for gaggery. But if she's starting to mouth and wants revolutionary,
yeah, you want something revolutionary? You don't think I've given enough information? Okay. This goes all the way to the top. I know for a fact that our previous High King, Gavilar Colin, met with a number of members of the Sons of Honor. Frequently.
You mean his high princes?
Not just his high princes, you mouthy little shit.
That's actually such a good chat from Alaran.
It's just like in terms of context, she has to specifically say this group of figures that are all involved with the Sons of Honor, and saying that is like that's normal practice for them to have come together. If she's like every single person on this list was in this meeting and no one else.
Also, to the now, I'm just to make it clear, for me to make sure I'm not mixing up book with what we've done. We at least Ztar had already gotten information that the king was doing that, right?
I don't know if you had actually. I think this is the first time.
I swear there was something about the king that I from one of the past people I talked to. There was something. I'm not sure exactly what.
More in relation to when you were speaking about the assassination of the king by the Pashendi. They had said that he'd been meeting with suspicious individuals. I don't think they'd gone into any more detail on that because they didn't know it.
Okay, so this would be new to,
and that the king had to be killed because he was trying to bring back your gods. Like the reason you understood the reason. Yeah.
I just wasn't I just sometimes can't exactly remember what we've learned versus what I know from.
It's really hard. It's really hard to compartmentalize. I have to do this so frequently now with what characters know, with what knowledge I share. So I've gotten good at it, but it's really fucking hard, and I still slip up all the time, constantly.
Yep.
Fine, yes, with his high princes, but not just his high princes. Specific meetings with those who have a strong connection to the Sons of Honor. That is fascinating, is it not? This group. This organization had the ear of the king. I wonder if they still do. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I mean, in this case, the apple kind of does.
They're the same, like two separate apples from the same tree.
King Elhokar is a lot like his father.
No, it's the son at this point. It's not Ralanat that's the king. Yeah.
Yes.
It
is Ralanat.
But
not in name.
But we know that Elhokar is kind of like a not a great like figurehead, right? And that there's a bunch of people around him that are like pulling strings. A lot of the high princes at this stage already think that they're like the ones that are like smoozing the king into certain.
They see him as more manipulatable than Gavilar. Certainly, the mood is that Elhokar is not as strong as his father was. That is definitely what all of you would know. And Alaran, you would know a little bit more. But for Neivien, Ztar, Rav-eth, Hula, it is common knowledge that Elhokar is not as strong as his father. He's not a conqueror like his father is. He doesn't have that strength of presence, that strength of will. Which is probably more concerning, right?
Yeah.
If this group
is more impressionable from all of the factions. We're going to take you back to Beth.
Lovely. And somewhere comfortable?
We will discuss that at Bethab's camp. It'll be a negotiation, I'm sure. What could we offer? You have more connections than we do. I'm sure that your negotiation with Bethab will...
Examine it to the High Prince. If you pitch this right, I won't be seen as a criminal to be questioned and interrogated. I'll be an informant, a helpful presence, someone there to assist. You have the power here, Alaran. Start using it. You're in charge. You've been given a role of power within the High Prince's camp. Use this power.
You sure have, big boy. You can do it.
Alaran is still on that one, no one can be trusted. So like he's hearing this and he's kind of like...
Oh my god, can I be trusted?
It needs to become insult.
Maybe I myself.
I just mean that like this isn't even puffing him up. This would probably normally affect him as like, yes, this is the point. Like, but I think he's so untrusting of everything coming in. He's interrogating every idea, and that immediately clashes with his. That's like the first time someone has used trying to encourage him to like puff him up rather than tear him down, I think. And I think that is kind of, he's immune to hearing that because he's so used to hearing the other things, the teardowns. So I think in that moment, like, he's just numb to it. But Hula, Ralanat is yours to guide to Bethab's camp. Ztar, I would like you to
roll for gaggery.
I look at Ralanat. I would like you to guide Zindan and Red 3. I think
I didn't actually talk to Red 3 actually. Well, could I wander off and give Red 3 a hum and see if they actually spark up all and just make sure they are just an actual dumb posh?
As you do that, she'll turn back to you, Alaran.
Tell me, Alaran, I'm curious, what did Zindan have to say? You came out here all looking very proud of yourselves, and Zindan's not a particularly impressive man. I imagine it didn't take much threat of violence to have him fold. I'd love to know what he said.
He confirmed your character.
Oh,
he
I
confirmed
bet.
that. Yeah, I think it is actually the thing that convinced the party.
Really? I must offer him a raise.
Time being, you won't be talking with him. It's important that we keep you separated.
Oh, of course. Yes. Very well.
I think hearing that and this, drawing the connection that this poor dude is just not getting out from under her clutches.
Yeah.
You're mine, Zindan.
That was going to be the point I was going to make later, like when we're out of earshot.
Neivien turns at that, and sorry, Matt, this isn't out of earshot, and walks straight up to her.
Oh, you're back.
You've said a lot. You've said a lot. You say you're grateful, and I agree that you have paid to an extent for your gratitude. There is one final expense.
Oh.
Zindan is no longer your man. He is free, and you hold no bars over him or his family.
I don't know what you think of me. Zindan is an employee, a paid member of my staff.
No. Final thing for your gratitude. Strip it all away. I'm looking at you, and I see you.
You watch as she smiles back at you, a predatory smirk, Neivien. Leans in a little bit and whispers, so only you hear this next bit.
Good. I see you, Neivien. Navesh was preparing you well, wasn't she? I wonder, does she know yet that you've reapplied yourself to the study of soulcasting? Does she know that you've made that final step across?
Neivien leaps at her.
Oh, fuck.
And that's what we're going to end for tonight. I reckon that's a perfect spot.
Now's when you attack. Now we can do some damage.
Get your book out. Come on.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
Give her the John Wick.
You beat me to it. I was playing that a lot more like, oh yeah, we should probably let her know at some point that like Zindan is a free man.
No, Zindan's not a free man. Zindan's going to jail.
Free from her.
I don't have a huge amount of sympathy for Zindan. He's that's dude.
Here's the thing, though, and this is what you're going to have to grapple with, Ztar. If you hand Zindan over to Bethab's soldiers and say, hey, this is an accomplice to Ralanat's evil deeds, and he confesses to all his evil deeds, he's going to have a much worse time than she is. He's going to end up in a really shitty prison. She's going to be under house arrest.
Anyway,
he'll be handed over with the... Also, this is the reason why we've made any progress on the case. He's shown like There are extenuating circumstances.
We also can't hand him over yet because we need him to guide us to the cage.
And we also
we're
putting Ralanat in House Bethad in a space that we know she will have influence over. We're using her within the house structure. Like even if she is a prisoner, she's going to have power within the house because she has influence. So if she said, "I want my guy," they would just send him in on her instruction. He is coming with us, and he is being lost.
Yeah, 100%.
He's an accomplished necromancer.
Yeah,
he was coerced.
And
he was coerced.
that is the grapple that we are going to have to leave you with to think it through. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will be back tomorrow night for our Tales from the Ordering Portal, Wednesday night for our penultimate episode of Return of the Giants before we start our Mistborn campaign in a couple of weeks. And back on Monday for more Echoes of Honor. For now, though, that is all we have time for. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel tonight. That is going to be Corsair's Cove. Of course it is. They're doing their Humblewood campaign.
Of course it is.
I should reach out and see if Josh is a really big fan of Mistborn and of Stormlight Archive. I should see if Josh. This is a different Josh. This is Western Australia Josh. I should see if he wants to come and do a little guest spot with us. He's a lovely, lovely man, and runs a very, very awesome D&D channel over at Corsair's Cove. I will see what he's up to over the next couple of months. That could be fun having another guest come in, particularly Mistborn. Awesome. I'll think about that and I'll have a chat to Josh, see if he's free. Everyone, thank you so much.
Yes,
we will see you all again. Yeah, see you all again in the next episode. Until then, stay safe. Stay well. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.